Welcome to Sculpture Studios, another theatre prop in the works here as we head off to the second star to the right and straight on till morning. This is for the 2018 pantomime of Peter Pan at the Hippodrome in Birmingham. We're going to be effectively creating a piece of sculpture that will act as both a home for Tinkerbell as well as a projection screen for her to appear onto.
It's a bit noisy, but that's because we're hard at work. What we're going to be doing, we're going to be creating a base that's about 4 metres long, about 1.8 metres deep, and this is to fit with another piece of set that they've already got made, and it's going to be kind of a mound of grass with some mushrooms, this big frame, big archway that's going to come off the job and be placed back onto transportation. There's going to be a couple of bamboo shoots where at the end they're going to have a rotating fan, and this has kind of got a holographic effect so that you can see little animatronic fairies that are displayed on the rotating fans. But we've ordered some large casters, about 6-inch wheels, so this base is going to be nice and sturdy, and it's going to be, as you can see, quite long, 4 metres long, so we're probably going to put 8 casters on the bottom so that it takes out the width and any bounce of anyone standing on top of it if someone needs to stand on top of it. It's going to be clad in polystyrene once the wooden base is made, and then it's going to be given a blanket coat of glass fibre, textured and artwork, mainly to look like their piece. You can just follow me out here. This is what we've already been sent, presumably. That's glass fibre as well, which is going to be the same process we're going to be going down. We've covered it in glitter and artworked it, and they've sent this down to the studio so that we can match this when it comes to us rendering and doing the artwork as well. So let's crack on.
Working with 4x2 battens, we map out a frame for the underside, and these boards will provide a solid surface to start blocking out on top of. Basically, once the wooden base is all screwed together and we're happy with the structure, we're going to adhere polystyrene onto the wood as the medium to create the grassy mound-like shape. Here, Jess is beginning work on the giant mushrooms. The advantage of creating something like this is that there's no exact way this needs to look. Providing we comply with the client's brief and sizes, they're happy for us to create what we feel is right for the project. We've clad the base using flats of polystyrene, and everything is adhered together using our PU expanding foam, and once it's set, it's now ready to be carved.
Okay everyone, this is what we're making. This is the drawing, or the concept at least, for pantomime. It's like a sort of fantasy set. This archway comes off. It's got mushrooms and a little stump here for Tinkerbell or that kind of thing to go in, or elf house. Just making a trolley and about to carve it. This here is my trusty hot wire. You can see there. Aden Hynes Sculpture Studios on there. Our own little switch. Turn on. It heats up nice and hot. You see the smoke coming off of it? And you can turn off, switch off. That's the start of it. 10:30 of the evening. I'll carry on for just a bit longer, doing a bit of a finishing carving. Going over now with the wire brush. Nothing clever, nothing too sophisticated. Just a bit of elbow grease.
The carving process is often one of the more enjoyable aspects of the project, where you can literally see the objects coming to life from a simple block of foam. We use saws, knives, wire brushes, nail brushes and sandpapers, so apart from the hot wire itself, which isn't actually crucial, very little in terms of technology is needed. Sure, you can have something like a 3D access machine cutting this for you, but where's the fun in that? Here you can actually watch it come to life by hand. Once we're happy with the polystyrene form, everything needs to be protected before we go on top with any resin. Cue the secretly sourced sticky back tinfoil for this process, where the whole job is covered for the blanket coat of glass fibre to go on top. As this is going to be used both inside, as well as hopefully having a very captive audience, the materials going on top need to have a degree of fire regulation. The polystyrene foam we use is always FR grade anyway, and for this project we're using a Class O fire retardant resin as opposed to a general purpose.
So here we have the mushroom set, majority of which has now been covered in glass fibre and fire rated Class O resin. And over here, Aden's just doing a little bit of working out of how we can structurally support this archway on the back of these aluminium bars, this Velcro, for a gauze to go across the back. Aluminium means that we can't weld onto this, which means we can't create a proper base plate for this to bolt onto. So we're thinking of we having a kind of supporting hinged leg that can pop up at the back that it can bolt to. Once again, we still need access to the Velcro. But now what Aden's considering is fiberglassing around the whole bottom of each existing side. That way we can create a skirt which we can bolt down into our job.
To lose that fibrous matte texture, we're going over with resin flow coats. These can be sanded down to a much smoother finish, or they can be left rough for areas like the ground and the bark if needed. The mushrooms in the tree stump section are designed to literally sit into the base without the need for any fixings, and this allows the sculpture to come apart for a more flat pack setup for transport and delivery. On to the artwork now. We're using emulsion paints for this project, as this is going to be indoors, so it doesn't need to withstand the elements of being outside. It shouldn't need to be handled too much, or incur any heavy traffic, so this means it doesn't need to be overly tough, and emulsion paints are easily accessible if the sculpture needs a touch-up over the pantomime period. You can see we've added texture to the floor using resin and a cork type mix called vermiculite, and we're gradually building up in layers of paint in a theatrical style to work up the finish. We like to go above and beyond sometimes, just to give the client something extra special. So, as well as painting the archway in the same colours as their spiral staircase, that's the one you saw outside earlier, we've actually popped to mini IKEA for some furniture. The tree stump comes with a spacious lounge with an open plan view over the front garden. There's an ensuite hot tub and sauna built into the roots, and it's in an ideal school catchment area for the kids, so Tinkerbell's really going to be living it up. With everything nearing completion, we need to make sure that all the removable elements are wrapped up so nothing gets knocked or damaged during transportation. Then it's off up to Birmingham for the Hippodrome's 2018 Christmas production of Peter Pan the Pantomime. Cool, that was a tongue twister. The gauze backdrop was added to the inside of the frame for a projection of a life-size Tinkerbell, and a fan effect to create lit-up fairies was also installed on the poles above the mushrooms. All of these elements, as well as effective sound and lighting, just add to the overall production value of the show, with 3D creations used as opposed to just using simple backdrops. This job has been commissioned by Mark Sherwood from Kudos Entertainment. We've built theatre props in the past for Kudos, like the Black Taxi for the Snow White pantomime at the London Palladium, so it's great to be invited back for another project. Please feel free to leave any comments below, as they're always appreciated, and hit the subscribe button for our latest videos. You can like Sculpture Studios on Facebook and follow @Aden Hynes on Twitter, and for more of our work, visit sculpturestudios.co.uk. Please keep thinking happy thoughts, and thank you very much for watching.